Alright, messages have been sent, so let's get started. Now this is a continuation of a save I started yesterday. For anyone who was not here, I managed to automate getting copper to my base, as well as tin, iron, and lithium. This is where my original tin source came up. This was iron, however, when going through it today to get a little grinding out of the way, I discovered that the iron vein that I was using had since been depleted. Instead of ripping all this up and placing it down to find a new one, I went ahead and started mining out some other ores that were right nearby. There was a little bit of tin here, which I did manage to pick up already, and now I'm bringing in extra copper. This was my original copper supply, and it still appears to be running fairly well. Although it is not being run through one of these basic smelters. I've been processing that through the one here on the base, which is a little more efficient. Let's just see how much is left. 0.38 million. That's still a pretty decent amount, so that will probably last me a while. The lithium is coming up from way down here. And this is also where I found my second iron node. I tried finding ones closer to the surface, but unfortunately there was not many near where my base was located. So I found a new iron deposit over here. Unfortunately, this one is also very low, so I'll probably be getting another one shortly. Yeah, 0.02 mil on that. And then over here was my original lithium source, which still has a decent amount left in that as well. So iron will be a project I'll probably have to touch upon today. But first I'd like to explore a little bit deeper. I keep running short on living rock, or organic rock, excuse me. And I will need that if I want to produce more smelters for automation and to begin enriching coal, something I unlocked yesterday. That will allow me to get almost double the fuel value of each piece of coal, which will make these veins that I have tapped into over here and the one next to the base a little more efficient. That way I will hopefully not have to move them so much. I'm going to go ahead and collect what ores have smelted up while I'm here. Oh, I should mention right now the iron is just going into a chest. Or a hopper, as it's called. I want to run it in the efficient smelter since we need so much and have so little. but I don't want to tie up this one with just that, because I also have the copper coming in from over there. And to be sure, can you guys hear me okay? Does it sound alright? Take that there's no problems yet. Okay. Now what I've been doing over here is I have started to make what are they called? Experimental pots, which are consumed in this multi-block laboratory to do some of the higher tier researches. I also needed to make a few of them just to build the laboratory itself, and that's what this machine does. It takes copper plates here and copper PCBs here, which for some reason this does not appear to be functioning properly. Oh, I think this got put in reverse. That's why. I had to break these temporarily earlier to get copper wire before I set up a second chain for that. So this makes the PCBs, stores them in here, and then this assembles them into the experimental pods. While I'm here, I'm going to see what else is required for the research structure. Hopefully I will have enough to complete it. Now, I can build another layer, but I need a few more of those pods. By the way, this is assembled in a 3x3 cube, and the texture will appear once I have all the blocks in place. This is a hole I started digging down to get to a considerable depth for my exploring today. I've thought about putting in a lift for getting up and down here safely, but I always have mixed feelings on those, because even when powered with pressure, they aren't exceptionally fast. Oops, I forgot to charge myself up first. That's, however, why I dug it 3 wide. Right now my power is doing okay in just about every location as well. I was running entirely off the CPH till earlier when I hopped back on, and I started using some more coal from another node I found and started supplying things locally. For example, there's a pyrothermal generator here that's powering these miners now to reduce the demand on the power hub and just make it so everything has a little bit more power. Although some things, obviously, like the research assembler, are very power hungry. And that will probably always run out of power when it's working. But it requires so many components that that does not happen continuously. So what I'd like to do is go just a little bit farther down and find another cavern, ideally. Caverns are an easy place to find more organic rock. Although I have to be careful, because if I go too far down, I may end up in the cold caverns, and I do not have a suit heater yet to deal with that. As well, apparently, I have used up all my coal that I had on my person. Sorry, I'm doing a little catch up and figuring out what I need after I ended playing earlier. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the coal from this right here, since that is so backlogged. Although that vein is also very small, so I'll probably have to move that soon as well. Let me do a quick ping for air. Oh, so for now I'm out of power again. Has the disadvantage of being wounded. It really drains through your power. Just a moment. I might wait up here a moment and let my health regenerate a little more. And take this opportunity to collect some of these seed pods. I've used up enough health capsules recently, couldn't hurt to get more. Hard to believe how cluttered my hotbars have already become, even after I cleared up most of that. This placement still bothers me. First time I ever placed these, they line up correctly, but I'm not sure why this one is not. Usually, the surface where those capsules sit will be vertical, just like this one, so you can easily see what's in them. Now that I'm at full health and full charge, time to actually go back down. Lovely, and it does not appear there's air anywhere near if I dig down. So apparently I have not yet scanned this material. Which should not be all that surprising. I haven't come down to this depth yet in this save. Yep, and I'm officially in the cold caverns. You can tell because it says up on the top at 205 meters down, or at least that's where I'm standing now. That will unfortunately drain my suit power very rapidly. I'm hoping after I process this scan, it should unlock the research for me to build a suit heater. it's just called deep stone. I don't believe that is what will unlock this for me. No. So I must have to find some other material a little bit farther down. Yeah, that just instantly drained it. And the coal also affects your grappling hook. So it takes you a little bit longer before you can fire it again if you are in the cold. So, the report says I have 7 ore extractors. I have 2 on copper, one of which does have a head to increase the rate at which it mines. The tin does as well. My coal do not. However, I use so little that it's not an issue. Here's a readout of my power. I have 6 pyrothermal generators now. They are all running on basic coal, no enriched or infused. I'm gonna go ahead and delay that.
Insufficient energy.
I'll take a little bit of power from elsewhere as well to top up. Speaking of research laboratories, I'm gonna go take more capsules here, and that should allow me to finish it, I think.
Crafting.
This is the research laboratory. From here you select other researches that you must provide capsules and power for. So one of the first things I'm going to do is start resin handling. And there's a very good reason for that. I'll show you in just a moment. First, I'll need to make myself another hopper, which means I will need another casing. Actually had a good number in there.
Crafting.
And that requires soft resin to process. I only have 10, so I'll have to go get some more. I know a location where I can find those, but first I want to show off the reason for me to do that research. That is over in this general direction. As you can see here, this resin structure is a shell built around a hive mind. I cannot mine the resin around a hive mind. And what that will try and do is suck resources off of ore belts that I have deep underground, which is why my lithium mines and stuff have turrets on them. And as that grows, obviously the shell expands and will destroy blocks around it. So I'm trying to limit its growth until I'm able to effectively farm it, because resin is actually used for several projects later on. Let me just top up on power and I'll get some more soft resin though. That message in the upper right, coal has started clearing. That means one of my deposits is almost completely gone. It's destroying the blocks as they have no more ore in them. So I'm going to have to move one of my miners shortly. I believe this should be near my objective. Aha. I think I saw a little bit over here. This is Overmind. One of 4 on the map. And they will spawn waves of beasts to attack you whenever your power production is at certain amounts. But it also has this soft resin near it, which I need to collect for the research project. See how much I've accumulated so far. 72. That's probably enough, but I'm gonna grab just a little bit more to be sure. Also, I'd love to go over and show you guys this thing, because that is what an exposed Overmind looks like. It looks like it didn't spawn correctly being this close to the Overmind. Oh, here's some organic rock as well. This is perfect. This will allow me to build more smelters and coal enrichers. Now, I don't think I have to be worried about this thing directly attacking me, but it will spawn the waves of creatures that attack my base. I don't know if you can hear it, but there is very creepy music playing in the background that started when I got over here. Oh, shoot. So I'm not sure how I missed that first time by. Triggering on those worms is always a little bit funky. So I'm just going to go around and not risk it. Yeah, if you get good enough with this grappling hook, you can really just be like Tarzan, swinging off of everything higher than you. I'm good at getting it hooked pretty regularly, but I'm more like George of the Jungle, smacking into everything around me. That was close. Oh, it looks like I did not have a health pack inside my suit either. Or a health capsule. I should grab one of those. And I was so low, it just instantly used it. I'll put another one in there for backup. And that helps you regenerate faster. Pause the rest of this in there. Oh, unfortunately, I forgot to power it. So this has not made any progress. So that end, I'm going to make a couple power storage spheres. And just place them down there for now. Unfortunately, getting the scan for that hive mind did not appear to unlock any new research, just giving me more points. So now what I need to do is route some power over to that thing. And I think I'm going to use more pyrothermals. Which means I need more copper wire. I believe I made a setup for that somewhere here. Nope, that's bars. Does not make it look like I made a dedicated extruder. However, this is backed up. So, yes, there's wires there. So I can just dump them into this chest, and that's fine. I also need to start running coal over that direction. Since this one is still here, I believe it is the coal vein down here that ran out. Yes, it is. There's now no more coal here, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm gonna have to make a new line. Especially because I was supplying two different sections at once. Let me go get a little bit of power.
You need more energy.
Now I know for a fact there's a couple coal veins, one over there that's fairly large, but I believe this is one here. No, this is rock. This is the vein. It's only 10,000. That is not very much, so that will not last long at all. So I might as well go set it up over on this one, even though it means running more conveyor belts. I think it will be worth it in the long run to not have to move it so often. Oh, that's not that much more either. Fortunately, I do have those organic rocks. Hey, Lucian. So I can start enriching the coal, and that will make it last a little bit longer.
You are running low on energy.
So there's the miner. That's how it will get some power. I'll use this logistics crate for now. Oops. Actually, what I'll probably do is put this under it, so the pyrothermal generator can sit right underneath there, and I will still have a direct line out for conveyor belts. So how's it going tonight, Lucian? Probably didn't need to remove most of those, but oh well. I'll just steal a little bit from over here. Yeah, I kind of figured. As derpy as Steam is, I get the notification whenever my friends are playing games multiple times throughout the day. It'll just be like, oh, they're playing. Did you know they're still playing? Oh, they're still playing. Now, I could be using sloped conveyors for this, which are a little bit nicer looking. But I believe they use more resources. I could be mistaken, but I've just always gotten under that assumption. Oops. Oh, and it looks like I need to make more conveyor bolts. Looks like my lithium is really backing up. I think that has to do with the fact that I haven't been able to make much progress that actually uses that since I've been so short on ingots. Sure, let's just make a bunch. Oh, orbital debris. That means there's a pod coming in, I think. I'd really like to get this one because I missed the last couple. Oh, it looks like there's a countdown, so I got a little bit of time. Or not. Oh. Smoke's over that way, so that is where it's crashed. Oh boy. My nemesis ledges. Here we go. Nice crashed pod. Apparently I haven't scanned snow yet. So I will just break one and take it with me because I'm apparently out of power. Oh, and that hypothermia is going to catch up with me fast. Thank you, wounded animation. I see the lights of my base. I'm just going to stand on one of these torches, see if I can build up heat. And I am slowly. I'm not sure if it's going to be sufficient. Okay, yeah, my suit's temperature's going up. Actually got a little bit over hot there. There we go. That will help deal with my suit's temperature.
More energy needed.
Okay, I think all that's left is for me to jumpstart the system with a little bit of power. And that should hopefully be self-sustaining. Although I need to siphon off a little of this now to supply over here. Oops. I should probably fill that in so I don't do that.
Insufficient energy.
I think I've glitched out my suit because this is the overheated animation playing right now. However, my temperature seems to be fine. does seem to be going away slowly. I thought it was initially the health one, but I seem to recall that had its own animation in the past. So I don't know why that would have changed. Okay, now this should take some of that coal and go supply it over there for the lithium and iron. That's the new coal hooked up. However, I will need to start on enrichment as fast as I can. I think the research is going to have to wait.
Crafting.
Oh, and I have the scan of snow block. There we go. So that coal enricher, I think I'll place down here somewhere. There are a few uses for just straight coal as it is, such as torches. But I have the vein still at the base that is producing raw coal. So I think I will dedicate this area just for making the enriched, since all this is going towards this fuel right now. And here, I'm gonna place a turntable, which will try and check every direction around it. And place the item on it, so it'll check left, forward, and right. That way it kind of splits it evenly. Gotta find a hopper to place behind and in front of it. I believe the first has to be an add only. And the second remove, I can't quite remember. And then that should be able to go onto a belt, and I will just mix that in the line so it becomes a hybrid line. It will be more efficient than just the straight coal. Now, unfortunately, this is going to need some power of its own. So I will probably power that with a pyrothermal running on the enriched coal that it produces. Just going to deposit more ingots to process while I'm here. Okay. I also want another power storage block, so I'll need some wire. Did I insert the wrong item into here? Oh, I did. That was lithium wire. Shoot. I hope that has a use later on.
Crafting.
And of course, because of that, now I have to wait for 10 wire. So I should just need 2 more. Fortunately, the extruder is fairly fast. Okay.
Crafting.
As you can see, I can pull power all the way over here. As I mentioned in yesterday's episode, if you can see it, you can pretty much interact with it. You're not limited by distance. So this will take enriched coal out of here when it's produced, and feed itself from that, and any excess should go onto the belt. Okay, no valid hoppers, so this is configured wrong. It needs to be in remove, and this needs to be in add. There we go. Seems to be staying at an exact even amount. It's kind of odd that it's not filling or depleting, and that this is not running. Either it's producing and the animation just isn't moving, and it's producing the same amount that this consumes, or I'm getting free power somehow. I think it's just not showing the animation, perhaps because it's under this crate. Normally that green bar light will move around it like a wheel. Like it will do a spin like this. And in fact, that's producing fast enough that I can probably route everything through that. Let's find out. No, it actually looks like I would need 2, at least to keep up. Yeah, because one's going that way. Oh, it says unknown block detected. Oops, do I still have it on? Oh, that is unknown. So there's something over in here I haven't yet scanned. What could that be? That's just a coal vein. That shouldn't appear. Someone pinging for unknown. I think my scanner's a little bit confused. So I just found out today that the last patch for this game, or at least last planned patch, was released. Which basically means this game's probably in its final state, and I don't know how I feel about that. It's come a long way since I first played it, but there's still a lot more little quirks and stuff to it that I really wish they fixed. Fortunately, it is a relatively cheap game at only like $12 base price. You're kind of getting what you pay for. It's rather weird because the price for the DLC for this game is actually higher than the cost of the game itself. So what do I need for another enricher? Pristine phosphorus gland. So I need to kill more bugs, and I'll also need another macerator. That one's easy. The macerator allows you to break down just about any basic material block, and you have a chance of getting ores from it. So you could dig up all this dirt and sand and whatever, and have a chance of extracting ores from it. But because of the power cost and the low percentage, I don't tend to use that. Let's check my threat scanner and see how long before the next attack. Attack estimated in 10 minutes. Okay. Oh, that's right. I needed another pyrothermal for the lab as well. Copper wire.
Crafting.
I'm gonna space these out so that in future I can put a hopper right here and just have both running at the same time. And I'm just gonna use a mini hopper here because this will not require much coal, even though it uses a lot of power. These generators are pretty efficient. And I believe I'm just going to pull this off from the spare line I laid down. Probably just going to install another turntable when this meets up with the original line, rather than take out of the hopper I placed over there. Oops. And here we go. This is that mixed line of coal and enriched coal. I'll just put the turntable there, and it will split half off that direction now. So I'll finally be able to start the advanced research. Let's see who else is here. Kind of a quiet night. I suppose I did start it later than yesterday. At this time, many people are probably not on. Of course, because these are basic conveyors, it's going to take a long time for that to get over here. One thing I did earlier is I upgraded the entire tin line to normal conveyors. Since we go through so much tin, and we'll need so much more, upgrading more lines in the future. Unfortunately, it looks like I need to place a second drill down to really take advantage of all that. And I might just do that now if the drill will be cheap enough. Yeah, that works. It's a lot of gears, but I have it on hand.
Crafting.
Okay, this stuff for another energy sphere. I do. Perfect.
Crafting.
I can literally double my tin input, which is awesome. That's still 2.4 million. That's got a good ways to go. Although, that 2.4 million is not how much ore I'll actually get out of it. The miners by default, or the ore extractors, only have about 10% efficiency. So realistically, I'm only getting about 10% of that as useful ore. And then the basic smelters use 4 ore per ingot, so I get even less. Or at least 4 ore on the current setting I'm on. I'll just place one of these tier 2 lasers to bridge that gap and power that one. And supply that with the basic motor as well. That should provide plenty of tin now. That wasn't exactly a necessary project at this point, but it will help speed up my belt upgrades for the other materials. These casings also use quite a bit of tin. And with an attack underway in 1 minute, I'm just going to stay near base now. I did build myself the gun, so I'll be able to help my base defenses this time. I also have a couple Mark II turrets up, although their coverage isn't great, mostly covering this direction. Which likely means they'll come from the rear. The AI seems to pick your least defensible path to come from. I'll go ahead and pick some of these seeds while I'm here. I was hoping to get to exploring deeper down more. There's just been enough going on. I haven't gotten to it yet. Yeah, go ahead and shoot these slimes while I'm here. They're neutral, but I still do get some bug parts from them. Those are giving me ruined glands. I will need a pristine, or 2 of them, to make another coal enricher. There is a process you can do later on by which you take ruined pieces and recombine them into a generic material, organic material that you can then assemble pristine ones from. But that requires delving into the cold caverns. Second wave is already underway. 7 enemies so far. Unfortunately, they spawn so far away from the base that it can take time for them to actually get here. Every time that smelts, that power drops. That is a little bit concerning. I'm gonna go ahead and research these organic lenses. And what these allow me to do is I can put them in these transmitters to slightly boost the power output. These crude ones, it's only like a 10% speed increase, but it's just that much more. The mineral ones, at least early on, tend to be a lot higher quality, giving you straight increases of number values, probably 30 or higher. I think these are only transferring like 10 or something. Maximum is 12, yeah. So even a basic gem lens will probably triple the power transfer. But I do not have any extra gems on me, I believe. Oh, yep, here the bugs come.
Your base is under attack.
This early on, they'll only come from one direction at a time, so I just need to worry about defending this one for this wave. It will always be a diagonal between a north, southeast, and west direction, I believe. Oh, unfortunately my power keeps running out. under my health, you'll see a blue bar when the wave approaches, and that's the health of my power hub. If that ever gets completely depleted, it goes into reboot phase, and it won't function for a short period of time until it does. However, it also repairs over time too, whenever it's not being damaged. So just have to keep them off of it for a little while. If they get right up close, the turret over there does seem to be able to hit them as well. But some of them, such as this blue one, won't get near as close to the base. And they take a little bit more damage to destroy. The main reason I'm fighting through this wave is because I want the drops from it. Even though in this low difficulty, the CPH getting destroyed doesn't really affect much, the drops become very useful, especially later on when you require hundreds of them to keep your base in operation, at least efficiently.
Your base is under attack.
And if you're wondering if you could build defenses, like walls and such, to keep the bugs out, as you can see here, they can obviously pass through terrain. So you cannot build fortifications to keep them out. You would have to build, like, turret, overlapping fields of fire on your turrets to kill them before they get close enough. Which I kind of like, because it means you can't just cheese it and build yourself in a box. I believe the chitin also has a function, I just can't remember what it is at the moment. Glands tend to be for machines. Eyes are usually for making more lenses or weapon upgrades. I don't recall what the chitin's for. As you can see, the green and blue ones are also a little bit harder to take down. There's even tougher ones later on. They get progressively harder the more you build up your base. So in theory, the wave is stopped, but there might still be some stragglers coming in. Yep. Hopefully that is the last of them. Nope. Oh, come on. Yeah, fortunately the turret was able to handle those that got by me. Uh-oh, one of my tin veins does not have sufficient power. And that's unfortunately because these are only the basic lasers. Oops. So I will have to upgrade the one up top shortly
Your base
too.
is under attack.
Oh, and here comes Spider-Bot. Unfortunately, he does not start with a gun, but if I were to build a charging platform for him, he would dock there and I could research and equip a gun and he would help me defend my base. Quite effectively at that. In fact, I have enough lithium coming in that might be feasible. He does require charged lithium cells to power him up and keep him charged, so I often avoid that. However, right now lithium has actually been one of my least problematic things since I have the charge coils automated. And I think that's the last of the wave.
Crafting.
And these white lasers were so primitive. They're literally just to get you started. Hopefully, the green one will be able to provide sufficient power. It might take a moment while it fills up buffers.
Crafting. Crafting. Crafting.
Okay, sorry about the delay. I can also manually supply this little bit of power and steal from the base. Oh! But looks like we have another attack incoming.
Energy required.
It's probably going to happen more frequently now that I'm also got 2 generators. working on this. Kind of wish the rendered distance or some setting wasn't applying this fog. I've checked everything. I'm not sure what's affecting that. But it'd be nice to be able to see the sky and the moons and stuff. I believe there is other celestial bodies you can look at. By the way, in case you're wondering, those slimes will typically drop ruined parts. You almost never get completed ones from those. So you can't exactly farm them for pieces. At least not until you get the ability to reassemble them. I'm kind of expecting them to come from the same direction, but I'm not entirely sure. Wave 4 of 7 underway already. Could swear I saw them by now in the last attack. Oh, different direction. Oops. Unfortunately, I keep getting those ruined glands, and it's the pristines I'm looking for. Need to go back and recharge a little bit. Oh, it looks like one made it past me somehow. Now, yes, I could put up a turret on this side and just let it take care of it. However, one turret on its own will usually not protect from a wave anyway. I'm pretty sure my gun is a little more power efficient than those, even if I'm being careless and wasteful with it. Just a moment. Sorry, I had an update notice. Got any of those glands yet? Nope, all ruined so far. Dang. I've killed 100 helpless life forms. They don't seem that helpless to me.
Your base is under attack.
collected plenty of eyes. Unfortunately, I don't need those yet. In fact, can I even use this for anything as it stands? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, I can't pristine eyes out for the crude lenses.
Your base is under attack.
Looks like we've got a couple new viewers. Thanks for stopping in.
Your base is under attack.
Scanner says the waves are over, so we're just dealing with the remainders. The ones that were already spawned in, but far away. Though to be fair, that's pretty easy when it's halfway through the waves before I even see the first enemy. For those of you that just joined, there's more to this than just the combat. However, I've built up to the point where I'm drawing the aggro of the creatures around, so they're currently trying to destroy my base, and I have to fight through and finish off these waves before I can go back to working on expansion. You know, I'm guessing that was the last one. No more surface attack vectors detected. Yep. Let's go ahead and do the ore upkeep. Check how far the research has gotten. Oops. Did not mean to open the console. And I'm just going to manually transfer some of the power from the base over just to help speed that up.
Insufficient energy.
Now, this is very inefficient, and I don't recommend doing this consistently. But when you just need quick boost to things, it works. I mean, there's no power loss, but you only have the same amount of power supply throughout your base, no matter what. You're just taking some from a different area. And that didn't even help all that much. What would it cost for more of these? More gears and wire.
Crafting.
Right now, I'm really just trying to crank through this research so I can get the Cold Caverns research and start exploring down there.
Crafting.
I suppose I don't have to make a turntable. It should just automatically output to a conveyor if I put one on top. Correct. So that will supply that one as well. This is going to really aggravate the bugs, but that's their problem, not mine.
Crafting.
I'm sure that smoke is fine and healthy. That still barely runs it. I know these things are power hungry, but still. Soft resin should be an easy research. Just gonna do a little bit of checking around the base while waiting on that. Copper still looks relatively okay. Might as well spend some of these points on the researches that only require points as well. Well, points and power. Now unlocked a few more things for me to build, although I don't feel like I have the supplies to work on most of them yet.
Crafting.
And just because I can, I'm going to throw on more pyrothermals here. Although that means I'm going to have to use the turntable like I initially planned and split off the ores. Oh, and I need housings.
Crafting.
Okay. Oops, and I need more basic belts.
Crafting.
And these mini hoppers will do the trick for here. It doesn't need much buffer. This is probably not efficient. However, it works for me. I mean, they are 100% efficiency, but I mean for the size of the surface here. I should probably start preparing some capsules as well. Since coal cavern research is more than just resin, I'm going to have to start making some of these experimental pods, I believe they're called. I'll start with the tin since I already have that set up and because it's almost guaranteed to be required. Oh yeah, an attack in 1 more minute. That definitely pissed them off.
Crafting. Crafting.
So I'm going to go ahead and make some more turrets.
Crafting.
I'll then slap this one on here. It should split this generator's power evenly between those two, I believe. So this isn't going to get a lot, but it should be enough to assist. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot for covering this side. Unless I were to put a sphere in here and upgrade these lasers. Which I will probably just do anyway.
Crafting. Crafting.
Copper wire, of course.
Crafting. Crafting. Crafting.
There we go. Now I should have a turret in every corner at least. That should help me ensure that even if any get through, they don't make it to my base. There come the enemies. And the turret is doing its job. Looks like it's even being assisted by the one a little farther back as well. Unfortunately, that was consuming a lot of power. So I'm not going to want to rely on that.
is under attack.
Yay, resin handling.
Your base is under attack.
Wow, and I'm actually out of power. This wave's rather large. They're doing a good number on my CPH. Shouldn't be surprised when I'm running so many generators trying to get that research finished. Okay, that's it. And now hopefully no more will come for a while and I'll have time to set my research. Check. So extruder, coiler, PCB assembler.
Crafting. Crafting.
Oh, I need more copper coils. Tin plates, that can easily be handled. Unfortunately for copper coils, I have to borrow this little bit here.
Crafting, crafting, crafting. Crafting.
Okay, so first you extrude it to make a cable. Or a wire. Then you have to coil it, put it on a spool. This uncoils it and makes it into a PCB. And one add only. Well, let me make a belt here and then go add only. Because the machine will also have to pull out of this. This will just ensure that it only goes one way. So this will make 10 PCBs. But then I have to also make a research pod assembler, I believe. Hun, there's nowhere to look.
Crafting. 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 Crafting.
I'm sorry, apparently I've been muted for a while. I'm just gonna go check this out just cuz. Yep. I believe to get rid of those, I think I either have to have the Spire bot up and running and have it kill it, or use chargeable explosives, which I do not have the research and tech for. That also requires tier 2 metals, I believe. Entire falling through this hole. So let's fill up most of that.
Your base is under attack.
Some of those are quite tough.
Additional energy is required.
Six simplified pods, yeah. It's a good portion of what we need. Still nothing but ruined lands. That is unfortunate. I've only killed 300 bugs total on this save. Dang, I am way far behind. And I ended that wave. Or that attack. More simplified pods. 1. That's it. Dang. You need much more tin. So I'm just gonna deposit that whole thing. How far along is that? Only 5 pods left to go. And there's 2 in it. So actually that one won't be too bad. I should probably make Arthur his battery core. That would allow him to store more at once. And his solar panel, in fact.
Crafting.
So I need more lightweight housings. And still more copper wire. Is it still not getting enough? Is this depleted? Not quite. It doesn't feel like it's optimal either. Feels like it's kind of running slow.
Crafting.
I wonder how much that has to do with this conveyor system. It's always with the tin. Speaking of tin.
Crafting. Crafting.
And we have so much copper, I can craft up a bunch of those basic builds, no problem.
Crafting.
So it gets me a handful of these normal ones. I think I'm gonna end the stream here. I know it's not as long as it was the other night, and we didn't get near as much done. But I just think I've had enough for the night. I'll probably continue the save some other day, perhaps tomorrow. We will see how things turn out. Thank you for anyone who showed up, especially those that stuck around. And I hope you all have a good one.